Hey guys, well, if you know anything about sales, you know that the first step in any sales conversation is to start building some rapport. You need to have some trust with the person in order for them to buy anything from you, really. Well, how do you do that exactly in pandemic times where you are stuck at home on a Zoom call and you need to do everything not in person, virtually? How do you build rapport and sell virtually? Let's get into it. Okay, just brief introduction before we start the video. My name is Alex. I've been in sales for over 20 years now, had a whole bunch of different businesses. One of my businesses is called Elite Closers Club. It's a sales mentoring program that helps you get better at sales. And that's how I came to be on this YouTube channel, because I wanted to bring some of the best kind of practices and best tips to you as a viewer so you can implement them directly into your sales practice and get better at sales. So if you like this type of content, I would hugely appreciate you share, like, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the videos and you can help us grow. Thanks a lot. All right, let's get back into the video. Okay, so this whole idea of selling over Zoom is probably the hardest for OGs out there like me, like old people basically. I'm 45, so I don't know, you could consider it old or not, but I'm used to doing things in person. I've been selling in person for many years, and only in the last few years I switched completely to selling over Zoom calls most of the time. So definitely is a challenge. It's very different because the things that you could do in person you just simply cannot do over video. So how do you overcome that? So the truth is that sales is a sales, and it doesn't matter where you are. The principles are going to be the same. That's the bottom line. But I am going to share some tips that I found helpful that help me right now. I'm selling right now, and it's very effective. So one of the first things that I do in any sales conversations is that I find something in common with them. Obviously, you know, it's a lot more difficult to do over a Zoom call, but finding things in common with them is also not that difficult. Out of all rapport building techniques, this is probably the simplest and the easiest to do on a Zoom call. So I do things very simple, like if we have friends in common on Facebook, I will mention that. If we come from the same city or I visited their city, I would mention it. Things like vacationing in the same place with my family as they did, because we do get a lot of information by connecting with them virtually, right? We can see their profile, we can learn more about them. So it's actually not that difficult to do, and it's a really effective technique because it is something that you can do virtually, right? So you start doing that process and you're getting a little bit of rapport going, but there is other things you can do. For example, you can use mimicking techniques, and obviously you cannot do everything virtually because it's very limited, right? However, you could do simple ones. So mimicking, it's just a psychological mechanism that allows you to build trust very quickly, because at the end of the day, people like doing business with people who are exactly like them. So by you imitating them in a real way, but not apparent to them, what happens is that psychologically they start, or subconsciously they start believing that you are very much alike, and consequently they trust you more, right? So how do you do that? You can do things like match their tone of voice, right? So if they speak really fast, you can speak fast. If they emphasize certain things, you emphasize certain things. They require a little bit more skill. But there are simple things. For example, on a Zoom call, you have virtual backgrounds. If they have a virtual background, you should put one on as well. You'll be surprised how a little thing like that changes the flow of conversation quite dramatically. At the end of the day, though, it's, people like doing business with people who are like them. So if you can show that in some way, you will win that business. The last tip is probably the most powerful one. It's the easiest one to do. Be genuine. Like, I could not tell you enough times that, like, I told my sales crew to be super honest, super genuine, and yet they jump into these quote unquote sales tactics that make them sound super fake. Nobody wants to buy anything from a person who's pretending to like them, right? You genuinely need to like them. You be honest about everything. So if you're asking them questions, be genuinely interested in them. Don't fake it. Be really curious, and it comes through. This genuine honesty comes through. People tend to sense whether the person is fake or not. It's very similar to animals. Animals sense fear, animals sense anger, right? Very same with people as well. They sense if you're being fake. And they might not tell you, but they have this bad feeling in the back of their mind, and they will never do business with you. This is the easiest thing you can do. Just be genuinely interested in them, pay attention to what they say, and really ask questions that pertain to them, not to you. It's as simple as that. How simple is that? Like, I could not repeat the word simple enough times. I do this one thing where that happens over and over again. I end up talking to the prospect for way too long. I could have disqualified them in the first 10 minutes, but I don't want to, because I want to get it to the point where we have a real good connection, so I can uncover some hidden opportunity, right? And it is a bad habit, I do admit. However, you have no idea how many times that paid off, where I think it's one thing and I think they're not qualified to work with me at all, and then I end up uncovering something that will give me an opportunity to sell them something, right? So it's just literally just because I am really interested in what they have to say and interested in learning about them as a person. Bottom line is, connecting with somebody in a real way is a lot simpler. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter whether you're on a in-person networking event or online over a Zoom call. At the end of the day, you will connect with that person, and that person will either like you or they will not like you. And if you're good at this building trust, use simple techniques. Don't overcomplicate it. It doesn't need to be complicated. Honestly, if you're just genuine with somebody and you're asking them questions because you're curious about them, it will come through, and that's going to be more than enough for you to do business with them and win that sale. Anyways, I hope you like this video. I really hope that you find these tips helpful. And if you do, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because it helps us grow tremendously. And you will not miss the next video that I'm making for you right now. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.